Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddie One Skip. Hi, I'm Toddie One Skip. Welcome back to my channel. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Tea, matcha, coffee. What are we doing, guys? I got my appetite back. Always ready to talk. In the comments, that's where I'm at, guys. Thank you so much for being part of this community. We have built something that I love, and I'm so proud to be a part of, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Guys, you know, those of you that have been, following me for a while and have come to know that there was a job that I had for about 8 years, and it was working with kids. And it was like in a residential residential rehab. And it was out in the middle of nowhere, and these kids usually came from, urban areas. So that's intimidating as it is. Some of the places actually were, detention centers as well. I worked with just a couple of the kids in the detention center where I worked because they were in for horrific acts and were, put in a special housing unit. So, excuse me, and being that I was commissary manager, I saw all of the inmates. Anyway, guys, that's not the point of this video. What I want to talk about, and what you guys I think have come to realize, I hope, is that I have a passion for kids. I want to help advocate for kids. I want kids to have a voice. I want kids to have a fair shot. I want kids to not miss life. And right away, it's in my opinion that kids have such a disadvantage from when even I grew up, because kids really don't go outside and play. They stay inside. They eat shit. They drink sodas, and they are engrossed with their phone. They are engrossed with gaming. They are engrossed with television. But I can't tell you the last time I drove down a street and interrupted a football game from kids playing on the road. And when I was a kid, that was a common thing, because I remember always being interrupted by the cars coming by. And it is just incredibly sad that this is what's going on. And what's even more sad is that there are parents that don't really parent and really don't have the interest that they should have, or the time that they need to have with their kids. Now, we can go back and forth the chicken and the egg, because there's a lot of parents now that are working 2 jobs. If it's a single parent, sometimes 3 jobs. And then what do you do? Or even just a happily married couple that needs to work. Both of them need to work, so you have a latchkey kid. And that is because it costs so much money to live in this society. I have said a million times, we pay a premium to live in a self-serve country. I don't know when that happened, but that's what happened. And our children are suffering. And I don't have any fucking kids, man. And I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I'm 61 years old now. So maybe I got 25 years. So, but I worry, because I do have nieces and I do have nephews, and I do care. I care, period. I care what happens even when I'm gone. I care what's going to be here. And I just see that if children really are our future, and they are, I mean, that just makes sense, right? It's not just a song lyric. It makes sense. Don't we want the best future? So when I do cases and I talk about, you know, like Timmy Ferguson, the kid that was, you know, living basically in a closet under the stairs and tortured by his older brother, Paul, and his mom, Shonda, right? And you hear of Maddie Soto, her mom. You hear about Corey Michelow, right? And you saw that video and how, you know, this kid he could have been an artist, he could have been a great astronomer, you know. And there's missing kids, and there's kids that aren't appreciated. And everybody needs to be appreciated. Everybody needs to have that, right? I think that all we all want is to matter. That mattering is just really important, mattering. I think that just to matter is just a really important thing. We need to matter, not to everybody, but to at least somebody, right? And when children don't, or they don't feel the importance of who they are, or the assurance of who they are, and given the direction that needs to be given when they're still young enough, but we're too busy with them. And we put them in places where other people can supervise them and make the other person a bad guy, more or less, or just parent your children. You are giving your child to strangers. The thing that you tell your children not to do, right? As they're growing up, don't talk to strangers. But there's parents that goon. Do you guys know what gooning is? Like, I never even heard of the phrase before, but I knew the technique. So gooning is, let's say you got a bad kid and you just lost, you know, you can't do anything. This kid is now off the rails because, listen, a kid just doesn't go off the rails. You know, it happens and you got to pay attention to it. But then it gets to a point where, wow, they're too big and too strong now and they're going to do whatever they want to do. And so you hire these people to come into your home in the middle of the night, wake up your kid, scare the fuck out of your kid, and take your kid away. And you just stand there and watch. And they take your child away to like these wilderness camps, these places that supposedly are to teach your kid character. Your kid fucking had character. They might have had the wrong character, but they had character. And it wasn't all wrong, right? Usually. So I was watching Nancy Grace, and there was a 12-year-old boy found unalive without his clothing, bottoms, nothing, at one of these wilderness camps. And it made me think of how people just treat their children. They want the perfect child, but they don't want to put the work in. And that shouldn't surprise us, right? Because didn't I make a comment about people don't even want to work? So that's them getting paid. Imagine what they're like when they go home and their kids are like, Mom, can I have this? Mom, can... Oh my gosh. I mean, have we looked back and saw any of this? Have we seen any of this shit? That's the question. That's the question. Guys, I just wanted to talk about this because I think we need to pay attention to the kids. Obviously, we need to pay attention to children. We need to pay attention to them in our daily lives. Make a connection with a kid. Because I don't know how many of them are making that connection anymore. So when you get a chance, I think it's important to do that. Yeah, guys, I don't know really where this came from, but I figured, I was feeling a sadness about kids, and I figured, well, who am I going to share it with better than our community? Guys, this is Issues with Toddie One Skip. Please like, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate you guys. And I hope I gave you some food for thought. Made your day better than worse. Gave more than take. So, alright guys, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow, and always be